Hey folks, and welcome to more Washington Wizards MyGM rebuild here on 2K25 here on the Tisbury 33 Games channel. I'm Cody Shalafu, as always, and let's just take a second to chat. So the Wizards, look at that. We lost in the finals to the Mavericks. We'll be going over, again, another season, another off season, all that fun jazz. I don't remember how much I mentioned it actually on the videos. I have made a couple of community posts on the channel. So if you are wondering, or usually I go over a couple of my thoughts about things on the channel about once a week, once every 2 weeks. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe now, and you can kind of see kind of my thoughts. I try to be as transparent with you guys as possible. I do, like, this is just for fun. Like, I'm not doing YouTube for a career or anything, just for fun. It helps me edit stuff. It helps me kind of learn some skills to translate over to other things in my life. I'm a sports broadcaster in real life. I do other jobs. Like, this is just purely for fun. I enjoy doing this. This is the stuff I grew up watching. And I said, you know what? I can start making stuff like this. So, with that being said, this series kind of sucks. here's what I mean by that. The MyGM mode that I chose is very bare bones. It doesn't, again, like we've seen before, like repeating storylines, like the RPG aspect of it's like fun for like the first season, and then everything just kind of repeats itself. So it's not that new, not anything like that. So the plan would be, as soon as we win a championship here with the Wizards, we'll be moving on to something different. We're going to do kind of the same style like this, but we are going to switch over to a My League where you have way more options. It takes away like the elements of talking to the players and talking to the CFO and all that stuff, but literally it's just the same storylines repeated. This is like what, the fifth, sixth season we're doing, and I barely get any new cutscenes or storylines or anything like that. So with that being said, we'll be moving over to a My League like long-term sim. The original thoughts of this would be, let's play this for 50 years, see what happens in NBA history, call it a day. But it's just not as fun. It's not as interactive. Like with My League, I can go in and I can manually make some trades for other teams that are realistic to kind of keep the league going. Nothing crazy, but we don't have any like big superstar trades like we see in real life happen in this game, and I can't move that around. I can't do anything. I can't even like adjust ratings at all. So if like a guy comes in, he's awesome, but he has like a 12 shot tendency and he only scores 14 points per game when he should be like a 35 point per game scorer, I can't change that here. I could change that in My League. So I think that's just going to be a little bit more interesting. So I don't know. This is actually the first episode I'm recording today. We could win the championship today. Obviously, you're very close. It could be the last episode, or you can see 3-4 more. We will continue this until we win the championship. Also, in My League, it allows us to jump in and watch the games like I originally intended for this series to be. There are a couple playoff games, especially against the Mavericks or the Magic, where we were up late or down late, and like there was a buzzer beater, I think, in Game 1 of the playoffs. That would have been sick if we were able to watch that. So we'll add that to the series. So we'll finish up the Wizards and then move on to something else, which will have a long-term effect. We also have another My League sim series coming up in the pipeline. That won't probably be until 2025, but I'm super excited about that. That should be a very, very fun project to bang out. So without further ado, let us begin our journey today with the Washington Wizards. And what year is it? Can you give me a year? Can you give me a year? Social media, what year is it? 2028. So 2029 coming right up. All right, so actually a fun thing. A guy just said, hey, we made the finals for the first time in like 50 plus years. How about you just don't go into luxury tax? All right, so we have to stay out of the luxury tax, I guess. But we also have like 100 morale on that guy. All right, let's see. Is he going to tell me that he wants to be a GM? Yeah, okay. So we'll just go to the retirements. All right, player retirements. Paul George, a guy who goes. Bradley Beal, a guy who goes. Some pretty decent names. Chris Middleton, Buddy Hield, who was like 90 years old when he got into the league, and some other guys who just didn't find teams and have been on the free market for a little bit now. Is that Gershon, my boy? Yaboo! Rick Carlisle and Mike Brown also hanging up. That's fun. And then these guys just auto-generated. Paul George makes the Hall of Fame. Let's check on what he has done in his career. Excuse me. Award history. 9-time All-Star, 1 first-team All-NBA, 5 third-team All-NBAs, 4 all-defensive teams, and most improved. I mean, I guess. I like Paul George. I like him a lot. I think it's a lot of shit, but I don't know if this is Hall of Fame resume. This is a Hall of Very Good, for sure. Okay, here's the draft lottery, and we are watching this because if you look at the left hand of your screen, we have the 4th best odds because of we had made a trade with Philadelphia. They ended up being very not good, and we ended up getting their first overall pick. So they, again, have the number 4 odds. Let us see where we land in here. Also, with the MyGM we were talking about, I'm able to go in and change uniforms and change league branding, really make it a league, and I think that's fun. I had one on my own that I've been doing. Sixers. Okay, I was like, wait, no shot that happens. It's physically impossible to happen. But with 2 teams moving up, that's going to probably move us back. So that does not bode well for us. But whatever. But I also able to go in and redo uniforms, redo all that stuff, move teams around, add expansion to the game. Really, we got the 8th pick. That's crazy. We got the 8th pick. This lottery is nutso. We went from all the way to 4 down to 8. This might be a very good chance to see if we can get a trade on the board, because 8, we have a lot of young guys, and we have a lot of pieces that are very good that we might be able to parlay into really good or superstar level guys. I know the Celtics haven't been very good. I'm not saying hey, we're going to go out and get Jason Tatum. Maybe we get Jaylen Brown. We'll kind of look around the league, see if anybody needs picks and has a superstar they do not want, and see if we can bang out a trade. And the Houston Rockets are going to get the first pick in the 2028 NBA draft. Very fun, very cool. So we go all the way from 4 down to 8, which sucks. The draft is looking like we have the best scouting, so we know what everyone looks like. It does not look like the best of drafts. We sure probably overall, 475 overall guys, and that's it. However, look at the potentials. All-NBA starter, All-NBA bench, All-Star bench, All-NBA starter, All-NBA bench. So it looks like just a very hit or miss type. There's one guy had Hall of Fame, Mel House, number 1 overall projected pick. Hall of Fame, but then bench. So it looks like very high volatile overalls and potentials. So yeah, that's very, very interesting. So we might want to try to get out of here, see if we can trade this pick. Because again, even if we do, if you look at our roster, let's just check that out. By position, we have Keeson Wallace on our team. We just traded for him. Had a decent year for us, if I'm not mistaken. 12 points per game, 4 assists. Not great, especially for a guy making this much money. But he was a point guard that we lacked. We did not have a point guard. Bilal Coulibaly, he really had a jump year. I think he's going to be very, very, very good. He's already a 90 overall. Bub Carrington and Chris Sanders behind him, and Andre Larson as well. So we get a guard. What are they going to do on this team? You need a small forward. Quincy Jeffries has been fun, and he's starting to really make strides up. So we need some a backup wing, which Sanders could be. Also, we can't change positions in this, so it's okay, we could definitely move him to the backup 3, but I don't know, whatever. Our big depth is quite good. We have a whole bunch of centers. With Jalen Williams, his contract has expired. He probably will not be brought back. He missed all of last year with an ACL there. So we have basically Naz Reid, Ben Winston, who was, I think, runner-up for Rookie of the Year, and then Joe Rollins, who is an absolute tank. So yeah, that's what it is. So yes, we're looking for maybe definitely some depth on the wing, and that's really all it is. And then depth at point guard. So one of these guys, like we could be moving on from Nas Reed. We can maybe sell high on Ben Winston. Jalen Williams obviously will be gone. I don't think we're going to be trying to be bringing him back, even though like these are fine like attributes. Like he just doesn't perform well. Like he's a career 40% shooter, and in this sim, like he's shooting like he shot 29% in 5 games or whatever it was. But yeah, no, he's not coming back. So yeah, so let us. So we'll just move on to the draft. Actually, let's try to make this trade right now. I'm gonna try to look around, see if I can pick up any trades. We got a trade right here. I was looking around, haven't found a big superstar trade yet, but we're going to send this 8th pick and the 27th pick of this year off to Milwaukee for Jaden Hardy to be our backup point guard. About 17 points per game. He looks like he was coming off the bench mostly last year, which would be a nice little pump to our lineup again after Case and Wallace. So we'll add this. Milwaukee, they don't really have a whole bunch, so adding some future assets to them would be, I think, beneficial for them, and we're going to roll with that trade. And we're kind of skimming through the draft. We don't have a pick this year, obviously, after making that selection, but we have some trades. Jonathan Clingan just got traded, and the Lakers are trading Anthony Davis to the Pelicans back to New Orleans for this trade package. That's very interesting. Larry Markkinen is going to the Hornets for the 10th pick overall for Minnesota, or opposite way, and they get Terry Morgan. Dan, the Hornets are trading for Julius Randle. What is happening in this draft? This is nuts. Here's after the draft. Here is what everyone selected. We got a bunch of trades. Again, some really weird stuff going on. But again, the highest overall guy is like a 75. We just got out of this draft completely. Ended up getting an 80 overall point guard that's going to be our backup. And we also traded this pick to the Knicks for like a second round pick in like 2032 or something. So just kicking that can down the road, and hey, maybe it ends up being a valuable piece for us. But that is the draft. Again, not a whole bunch to go over since we weren't really picking because we traded this 8th pick. If we were picking up here, then definitely would have put some more stock into it. And Mel House probably would have been our pick. This is the guy that had the Hall of Fame and bench potentials. So yeah, so that's what we got going. Right, here we are on the player progression screen. We got a big jump from Sarr, big jump from Joe Rollins, and some more jumps. Chris Sanders getting a huge jump, +5. Ben Winston getting a big jump. We did re-sign Jalen Daniels. We are going to just flip him. Maybe Nas Reed as well. And yeah, so like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys over an 80 overall. And then we also have Nesmith, George Caver got up 1, Andre Larson, and Willard Oliver. Nesmith was our one signing really that we made to shore up that position behind Quincy Jeffries. And yeah, so let's make a trade and then get into the season. Going to get a whole bunch of minutes, but it's going to be like what we did last year. Just a whole bunch of guys who can contribute and no one who's going to like really carry us, if that makes sense. So that's where we're going to try to go. If anything is changing, obviously I try to trade Jalen Williams, but he can't be traded until December. So when he can be traded, we will be shipping him off. And this is the rotation we're going to go with right now. It seems very good, very fun, very happy, very excited about it. So, yeah, that is what we are going to be rocking with at the moment. So we had some perks to play with. We have winning culture is what I bought. Team chemistry is increased even more from winning. And then we also bought Shot Doctor, so increases all shooting attributes by 3. Hopefully those can parlay into each other and just roll off some wins and let's go get this championship. It's been a really tough start to the month, and we'll go over that when we go over the stats at the end of the month. It hasn't been a great month. We are starting to pick it back up. Joe Rollins has proved to be probably our star of the team, 18 points per game. Again, it's a team that it's everyone's contributing. You have a bunch of guys who are playing 20-plus minutes a game, bunch of guys who are scoring over 10 points per game. It's kind of how we've built the team, and I'm fine with it. Quincy Jeffries continues to be an overall just well-rounded stud. Alex Sarr, he's hurt right now. He'll be out for another week or two, but just defensive monster, getting the rebounds up, is having a really solid season. Bilal Coulibaly, again, everyone's just having a good year. Jaden Hardy off the bench, he's scoring at will. Chris Sanders, he has 11 points per game off the bench as well. Bob Carrington and Gayson Wallace hasn't been performing very well, just 7 points per game, under 4 assists a game. You don't love to see that, but again, this is everyone's contributing, everyone's doing what they have to do, and yeah, so that is what we got going on. We look at the standings through the first month of the season. We are right on the outside at the number 9 spot, 10 and 12. We lost our first 5 games in a row. But yeah, all of these, this is literally in real life right now. These are the bottom teams in the league. And now these are the guys competing for championships, apparently. And yeah, also, I think we own this Los Angeles pick this year. So that's also super cool. Just like that, we have turned things around. We have a 21-15 record, right behind all these, the Nets and the Bulls, for the third best record in the Eastern Conference. And we're looking at the 10th, 8th best team overall in the league. The West is definitely a little bit better than us. But yeah, that is what we are looking like right now, as a lot more green as we head into January, where we're going to start making some trades probably pretty soon. We look at the season stats, per usual, very much the same. So what everyone's looking like, what everyone's doing, just continuing to be good. I guess that's just kind of what we got. Kayson Wallace still not really pulling everything together. But yeah, we're having a really solid season. I love it. Everyone's doing a little bit of everything. So yeah, that's what we got going for January, or through December. There you go. Here's the trade. Jalen Johnson's going to come home. We're going to bring Jalen Williams and Aaron Nesmith. We're going to throw in a first-round pick for them. We will give them the Spurs' first this year, and we'll give them top 10 protected in 31 to kind of make this deal go down. But yeah, they add some depth here, which I think they need, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of not really staying true realistic, because I just kind of want this to be over. But yeah, we'll throw a couple first-round picks in there. We'll give them Nesmith. We'll give them Jalen Williams. We'll get Jalen Johnson. We'll call it a day. Now let's look at the new revamped team. We'll hit this button. Here we go. Wallace, Coulibaly, Jeffries, Sarr, Rollins, Carrington, and Jalen Johnson off the bench. Chris Sanders, Ben Winston, and Jaden Hardy. And yeah, I think that actually Naz Reid. He'll probably sit out right now. We'll throw him in for, I don't know why they want to play Willard Oliver so bad. But yeah, it's probably what we're going to go with. That seems about right. We're actually going to knock you down a few, swap with you, put you up a few, move you down one, move you up one. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So yeah, let's see what we do for the rest of the season. Give Naz Reid this extension right here. Just lock him up. You get a really good center at under $10 million per year. I enjoy that. Quite a bit, actually. And now we're here in March. We're the 4th in the conference. Let's just check on actually the league leaders. Where do I want to go? I want to go stats and standings. I want to go NBA standings. Here's what we're looking like. We are about 2.5 games from that first seed. So there you go. Let's just you have 50 wins last year. We're already at 37 this year, right after the All-Star break. But let us really go into the season league leaders and check who's doing the damn thing. Cade Cunningham leading in points per game, with Luka, Morant, Fox, Holmgren all in that 25 to 30 roughly range. And yeah, that's super dope. Rebounds per game, here are your leaders. All the way up here to Chet Holmgren at almost 12 a game. John Morant almost averaging a triple-double. And so was Luka almost. Trae Young just 17 points per game, but really doling out those assists. I also like in this game that the field goal percentage is a little bit better. I think in a lot of years you have guys shooting 60% because they're so good. but it's a little bit more realistic this year. Alex Sarr, he is third in the league in blocks and third in the league in steals, or tied for third in the league in steals. So that's a defensive player of the year type guy, if you ask me. And I would probably, Frank, say he's probably the favorite. And let's actually check on the favorite. So here are the MVP races right now, led by these guys. Rookie of the year, Jonathan Irving. Looks like he's the one right now. And Decolis Durekis. Sure. Andor Kafka, Floyd Hayes, and Rock Turk. So 3 international guys. Greece, Hungary, Slovenia. Dope. Peter Scott, 6th man of the year, the first overall pick from last year, averaging 20 off the bench. Dope. And Alex Sarr, 2nd defensive player of the year. I'd probably give it over Wemby. Just because he has slightly less blocks, but more steals, slightly less rebounds. Maybe the rebounds are what's really pushing him over the top. Most improved player, they're saying Frank Bender, and yeah, I probably would agree with that. Carl Evans, yeah, probably Frank Bender on that one. And the most clutch player, I don't know how they figure this out on probably 4th quarter scoring, and it's Luka Doncic right now. All right, season has ended. We'll kind of look at our standings after we go over all the awards. We did have 2 big injuries towards the end of the year, so that sucked. But here's what we got. Luka Doncic wins another MVP. I don't think anyone else has won an MVP other than Luka. Jonathan Irving, Rookie of the Year. Peter Scott, 6th man. Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year. Frank Bender, Most Improved. Jalen Brunson, the Most Clutch. So Abraham Navarro is your coach, and Jordan Hobson is your executive. So again, probably all the stuff that we looked at in that kind of mid-season look ahead. Luka, Ja, Victor Wembanyama, Cade Cunningham, and Halliburton, your first team. Christopher Gordon, Amen Thompson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chet Holmgren, De'Aaron Fox, your second team, and Aaron Jones, LaMelo Ball, Jaden Ivey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Zachary Richardson is your third team. All defensive teams: Ausar Thompson, Giannis, Holmgren, Alex Sarr, and Wembanyama. Evan Mobley, Amen Thompson, Derek Lively, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Nihat Bosturk are your all defensive teams. And here are your all rookies. If you want to see Franklin Pierce, shout out Franklin Pierce College in New Hampshire. All right. So we ended up as the number 1 seed in the East. Let's just take a look at our stats season stats, player stats. So here's how everyone finished this year. Joe Rollins did get a high ankle strain. You see that up in the top corner. Probably miss a decent chunk of time. Jalen Johnson was our 2nd leading scorer. Alex Sarr, 3rd. And Jaden Hardy out for the season with a right leg fracture. That sucks. Jeffries, Coulibaly, Sanders, Carrington all finished over 10 points per game. Rebounds later, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 over 5 rebounds per game. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3 assists per game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over an assist a game, and 2 guys getting over 1 block per game. Again, nothing flashy, nothing crazy, but everyone doing their part, everybody playing together. You love to see it. Now let's get through these playoffs. If we simulate the play-in, here's how it works. We are going to get Philadelphia. That is awesome to see. And on the West, it is Sacramento and in New Orleans getting in there. So this is how the playoffs are going to be structured. So let's take a look at what Philadelphia has on their team. Tyrese Maxey, Matthew Ingram, Jay Shaw, older Joel Embiid, Jared McCain off the bench. And they have some players. They have some pieces. Ben Simmons back in Philadelphia. I'm sure that's awesome and loved and really respected. And let's go to coach game plan. Let's drop this rotation down to 9. And they want Ben. All right, because what's his face is hurt. Alrighty. So Carrington, Johnson, Sanders, Naz Reid. All right, makes sense. Let's roll with it. Actually, we're gonna drop this down to an 8-man rotation. I think move everybody up and then take Naz Reid's minutes away. And we'll see if that works in this first round. Let's see what we got. All right, first game, we're falling behind Philadelphia. And we're starting to come back a bit. I'll watch it slow. Again, we can't hop into these games, unfortunately, but we do. And we do pull away towards the end. So we got dicey in the end there, but we do end up winning that. Game 2, again, starts much the same way. They go out to a lead in the first half. Can we come back and storm back? And we are starting to. Just 3-point game. We finally take the lead late in the fourth quarter. We have a nice lead, and we hold them off. So Jalen Johnson, 26 points. Ben Winston, 23. They had 26 from Maxey. But again, they come out in the first half. We get a big third quarter and a big fourth quarter to come back and win that one. Huge first quarter, a good second quarter, a big third quarter, and yeah, we are pulling away from the 76ers here, looking for the sweep. 25 from Jalen Johnson. Again, he's having 23 points per game for us in the playoffs. Ben Winston also being a monster for us in the playoffs as well. And yeah, they did not show up at all. Is Embiid hurt? Embiid is hurt, it looks like. All right, looks like Brooklyn has moved on. We'll be taking on the Nets in the next round. Philadelphia, huge second quarter. And that looks like the dagger. Oh, actually, we're coming way back. We outscored them a bunch in the fourth until it didn't really matter anymore. All right, simulate with Simcast. All right, as long as we don't blow a 3-0 lead, we should be chilling. Big lead in the first, expanding that lead in the second, but they are still right there with us. 10-point lead here in the fourth. Make it and just too far ahead. And I think that's going to do it. We move on in the first round. Bub Carrington had 21. Alex Sarr, a double-double, as long as Winston and Johnston. Winston did not shoot well, 5 for 20 on the game. And yeah, so that will do it for that round. Let's see. Let's simulate the round. We'll leave Ben Winston as is. All right, so here it is. New Orleans took San Antonio to 7, but San Antonio prevails. Memphis loses to Utah. Golden State moves on. Dallas moves on. Again, we played Dallas in the finals. And all the top seeds except for Chicago move on in the East. And a rematch of the conference semifinals. So second round, we played Brooklyn last year, and we are playing them in the second round here again. All right, now it's back and forth here going into the fourth quarter. Who can come up on top? We have a nice little fourth quarter lead. Hold on to it. We are doubling them up here in the fourth. No one scoring, and I think just defensive battle, and we smoke them in the fourth quarter. 33 points we scored. They only scored 23, and that's your 10-point difference. We outscored them by 10 in the fourth quarter. Winston, he looks like he is big hurt now. We'll see what that diagnosis is in just a minute. All right, so he's out for the rest of the year. Jesus Christ. All right, yeah, so we're going to move Sarr down, you in, and then Naz Reid comes in. And, again, 3 of our best players out for a while. Rollins looks like he's close to being back, which would be helpful, but these 2 guys out for the rest of the season, which would suck for us. Let's see what Naz Reid jumping into the lineup does for us. Keeping a decent lead here going into the fourth quarter. Now it's back and forth. We're up by just 6, 5, 4 now. 3-point lead. We expand it. Ooh, we're coming back. I don't like this. I don't like this. And that's how it is. A 1-point lead for them, a 1-point win. Let's check out and see what happened towards the end. Sarr missed a layup at the buzzer, and that was it. That was the dagger. So, again, would love to see it, but that's why we're going to be moving on to a new series here pretty shortly. Hopefully we win this series, win it all this season. I would like that. I would like that a lot. And we are blowing them out here in game number 3. Perfect. Dallas behind Golden State. San Antonio up on Utah. big first quarter, but they're having a big second quarter. Not enough, though. We ended up coming back there. And, yeah, this one looks pretty much done. Boom. All right, 20 points for Cason Wallace, who's showing up a little bit more, I guess. But I don't know. Quincy Jeffries, 17 points per game in the playoffs. Yeah, he is really doing the darn thing on their side. Christopher Gordon is their head man. He is not having a good playoffs compared to his regular season. You hate to see that. Well, I like to see it. All right. Let's go. Can we stomp them out in 4 games? Huge first. Huge second. Yeah, we are rolling these guys. We have to basically play brain-dead basketball. We have reached the conference finals. Alex R loves that 132-98 victory. There was 83 combined points scored in the fourth quarter. Wow. All right. Jeffries 28, Sarr 27, 19 for Wallace, 15 for Sanders, 15 for Naz Reid, 9 for 9 free throws. They love Naz Reid. And, yeah, an overall effort for Brooklyn, but they could not do anything about it. Let's simulate the rest of this round. It's Golden State, San Antonio, Orlando, and Washington. Okay. And we are going to throw Joe Rollins in there. Who did they bump out? Chris Sanders. I guess. That's not Reed's doing. That's Reed's doing actually pretty well. We'll do that. We'll do this. We'll do 9-man. Get Naz Reid in. We'll switch their minutes. All right, let's roll that. Let's see if that works for Orlando. Again, this is with 2 80-plus overalls also not playing. So we're still rolling with this with 2 of our key guys out. And we win game number 1, 98-89. Coulibaly leads us in scoring with Sarr and Rollins right behind him. Jalen Suggs, their leader. Paulo Banchero not shooting a whole bunch. All right, let's see it. We're up again here in the first half. And we have a 20-plus point lead. And this is going to continue. We are steamrolling the Magic. We love to see it. Quincy Jeffries, 31 points per game. He's really showing out in these playoffs. You love to see it. Another big showing here. Up by 10. Can we hold on to win? I would love to see if we can hold on to win. We go into overtime. So a big fourth quarter by the Magic. We couldn't score at all late. And we do pull away, and we do end up winning. So we take a 3-0 series lead. However, it did get dicey there. This is Dwayne Cartwright from UConn. Exploding since coming to the Orlando Magic. You love to see it. And, yeah, okay. So 3-0 series lead. The Golden State Warriors are taking on the Spurs. I would love to not play the Spurs, I think. I would not like to play Wembanyama. I just don't want 2K Sim Wembanyama games. All right, very close here down the stretch. Get some free throws, it looks like. They score a bucket. 3-pointer to tie it, and we're going to overtime yet again. A big fourth quarter at the end there by Orlando, but we storm out to a 9-0 run here in the begin overtime, and that's just too much, I think, for them to handle. We're shooting free throws, we're making them, and we are going to the NBA Finals. All right, Golden State needs one more to advance. They don't, and they do. So Jonathan Kuminga, this guy, 86 overall, 26 points per game in the playoffs. He wins Finals MVP in the West, and Quincy Jeffries wins it in the East. Very much deserved. Dyson Daniels, Brandon Podziemski, Jonathan Kuminga, Kyle Kuzma, a good friend Kyle Kuzma, back again. Clint Capella, Daniel Gafford. This is a team built like us, just not as good, just simply put. So we should be able to win this. We should win this. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I'm very excited. I hope we ended up winning with the Wizards here. That'd be very impressive. They have a big third quarter, and they pick up a big lead on us. Or not a big lead, but they take the lead. All right, fourth quarter is in our favor right now here in Washington. Boom. We win game 1 of the NBA Finals on a home court. 29 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, 4 blocks for Alex Sarr. Huge start to his NBA Finals. Malik Monk had 23 for them. First quarter, tie. Second quarter, almost tie. Third quarter, very close. They have a 10-point lead. Let's see if we can have a big fourth quarter comeback. They're trying. It seems like they're pulling away a bit. And that's going to do it. They pick up game number 2. Couple bad shooting nights from Sarr and Jeffries. And Kuminga, he had 20. He leads all scorers. In Golden State for the first time, 3-point lead going into the first quarter. We have a huge second quarter. They start coming back with a big third quarter, but we are outmatching them in the fourth. Hold a double-digit lead with under 3 minutes left to go. And they try, they give effort, but we ultimately win. Casey Wallace, 26 points, 22 points for Coulibaly, 27 for Kuminga. We were up 2-1 in the NBA Finals. If I'm not mistaken, I do know that the series ended up being 2-2 against the Mavericks last year. I don't know if we had the 2-1 lead or they had a 2-1 lead. I want to say it was us. And this is a big fourth quarter for Golden State, and we just can't do anything in the fourth. Huge fourth quarter, and now we are all tied up at 2. Don't do this to me again. I don't think I can handle it. I don't think I can take it. I don't think I can take. And yeah, we're going to get blown out here in game 3. Oh, don't do this to me. Okay, big second quarter. Here it is, fourth quarter. Win or go home, or do or die for us. We get a 3. We take the lead. We're up. Overtime. They tie it up. Need a big overtime. Double overtime here in game number 6. No team is backing down at all. We're finally pulling away. We're going to force this over to a game number 7. All right. Jeffries, Rollins, 28 points for them. Let's kind of see this game log. Let's go all the way down to the fourth quarter. That should be the fourth quarter. All right, so it was 105, 101, right? All right, so this is the end of the period. Podziemski missed a shot right there to send us into overtime, or hit a shot to force overtime. Love that. So they hit a shot to force overtime. We come down to the end of the quarter here, and it kind of just... We hit a jumper with 24 seconds. Wells missed a dunk. Crazy. They had a slam dunk to win the finals at the buzzer. I would have cried. And then down the stretch here, we just kind of hit our free throws and did our thing. All right, do or die. Game 7. Let's see it.
The moment has arrived. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The Washington Wizards have reached the final destination. An epic journey is nearly complete. The opportunity to win the ultimate prize in a series that will go the distance. They must bring all they can muster against the Warriors. Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
It's a rare and wonderful thing for the NBA Finals to come down to a single.
All right, here we go. We showed you the opening cinematic, and we have a huge lead here in the first quarter. We are dominating here in Game 7, And barring anything crazy, it seems like your Washington Wizards are going to win the NBA Finals, and the rebuild will be complete. We will jump in. And we'll play the final couple of moments here. Backups are in. And wow, this has been a very fun series. Again, I wish it was a little bit better. I wish it had way more nuance to it. I wish we were able to really do what we wanted to do with this series. But I think this is awesome. I think this is a great and fitting conclusion to the series. And we're going to walk out of here with an NBA Finals Game 7 win against the Wizards. Or excuse me, against the Warriors. Two teams that were competing for titles in the 70s. They obviously got way more relevant, way quicker than we did. But we got there. And that's it. The Wizards are finals champions.
What an incredible ride. Culminating in a championship. What a team. This will go down as one of the great sports moments in the history of this city. And listen to this crowd. Players talk about having to tune out the noise and focus on the task at hand. This is the noise they've been waiting to hear all year long.
Absolutely incredible. Look at the guys celebrating, understanding the work, the sacrifice, the discipline that goes into winning a championship in this building.
Thanks for being a part of it with us all season long. It's the NBA on 2K Sports.
I love how they give Nas read the title first. The Wizards have won the championship. We did it, boys. We did it, girls. We did it. NBA Finals MVP is Alex Sarr. Let's check on the roster that finally did it. Sarr, Kalabali, who we built around. Joe Rollins, we drafted with the 23rd overall pick in 2025. Ended up being a beast for us. Bub Carrington, all these three guys all here before we got there. Cason Wallace, the big trade that we got a true point guard to come in and be on this team. Quincy Jeffries, the first draft pick that we got, number 4 overall pick, ended up turning into like an overall well-rounded stud. Was comped at Sean Marion, maybe not that level yet, but kind of you can see the mold, you can see what they were going for there. Jalen Johnson, a midseason trade we added. Chris Sanders, a draft pick, number 8 overall in 26. Nas Reed, we got in a trade. Ben Winston, the 6th pick in 2027. George Caver, this is the guy that this was the guy that they went around and he was that storyline with the superstar who hurt himself and went to like some D2 college or whatever. Jaden Hardy, Jericho Sims, Andre Larson, Willard Oliver. That's it, boys and girls. We win. And I will do it for the series again. Like I said, we are going to put it close to this. However, we'll be back with another My NBA simulation series soon. I did enjoy it. It's nice. It's good to it's just easy fun to have. It's easy to record, easy to edit, all that big fun stuff. So we will see you next time here with some more content on the channel. Again, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow along. I have my social medias in the description as well. My other channel that I do broadcasting, all my broadcasting highlights on. Go check those out as well. We'll be bringing probably a variety game series before we go into that My NBA series. But I'm very excited about that. And that will do it here. Make sure to go check out some Rockies, other series that are on our channel. That just go check around. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you next time here on Tisbury 33 Games.